Martin Raff is a unique individual who I believe is truly designed to be every student's favorite scientist. Let's find out why. Born in Montreal, Canada on January 15, 1938, Martin Raff's life revolved solely around sports. In a recent interview, he even admitted to sleeping with either a football or hockey stick every night. Later on, he surprised himself by successfully earning a Bachelor of Science in 1959 and a medical degree in 1963, both from McGill University. But science was not always this prevalent in his life. He had zero interest in science as a child, and the only thing he learned about biology in his first 12 years of school was how to brush his teeth. However, after moving to Britain to escape the Vietnam War, Raff joined a lab in which he claimed to work among his soulmates, causing him to fall in love with the world of science. Raff's life quickly became full of lab work, making it one of his favorite hobbies, but his love for sports never died. To this day, even being 84 years old, Raff loves to try and play different sports, including football, basketball, ice hockey, skiing, and sailing. Outside of this, he also revises his textbook, Molecular Biology of the Cell, which is in its 7th edition, as well as supports education as an emeritus professor. For a majority of his career, Martin Raff devoted his research to immunology, cell biology, and especially developmental neurobiology. Many of his research articles and experiments discuss many complex questions about biology. In the experiment we will discuss later on, he questions whether it is possible to map the cells of the nervous and immune systems. He's also questioned the factors that control developmental timelines and factors that affect programmed cell death, known as apoptosis, in his experiment titled Two Distinct Populations of Peripheral Lymphocytes in Mice Distinguishable by Immunofluorescence. Dr. Raff manipulated a population of mice to determine how their immune systems responded to various pathogens. In doing so, he was able to fluorescently identify different types of immune cells. This experiment was quite complicated, involving techniques such as cell staining, forming fluorescent antibodies, and removing mice's thyroid glands. In the past, Martin Raff made many groundbreaking discoveries regarding concepts of cell biology. In experiments similar to the one we just discussed, Dr. Raff was able to use cell surface markers to identify T and B cells in mice, as well as developing a better understanding of ligand-induced redistribution, which is important for cell signaling. Unfortunately, Dr. Raff is now retired, but believes the greatest impact he can continue to make is to educate future generations to continue his research. This may just be an opinion, but here's why I adore Dr. Raff. First off, he embraces stupidity because he knows the struggle many students face when trying to study a subject such as science that is so heavily fact-driven. Secondly, because of his unique childhood with little science experience, he reassures me in the idea that I do not need to know what I am passionate about from the start. And lastly, Dr. Raff regrets studying medicine because it only made him memorize and never think, which inspires me to possibly pursue a research career rather than medicine as I had originally intended.